Hi, no time to explain. I'm here to see the Meg. Meg 2, I should say. Uh, Kinda running a bit late, again, as per usual, so I'll just keep this short. Really like the first one, really hope the second one's great. I'll explain more after I see it. So, this is the before section. This is quite possibly the shortest before section I've ever done on any video review on my channel. So, see you after I come out of it. Goodbye. Okay, now that I've seen the movie, no need to rush anymore. I'm a little bit more calm now, a bit more zen. Let's get talking about a giant shark movie. And I'm gonna step back from the poster. It's a really good looking poster. It's just, because of the colors and the light, there's light projected on it. It kind of looks weird under this camera, but with that being said, I like the Meg movies. I like them both. Now, well, here's the thing. I came here about 5 years ago. Yeah, 2018. That's when the first Meg came out. Very low expectations. Was kind of liking the trailers at the time. Didn't really know what to expect much from the first Meg. And, well, I liked it. It was fun. I mean, it wasn't a great movie by any chance, but it was pretty fun. It was a B-level dumb action movie, and really, what more could you ask for from a Jason Statham giant shark movie like that? I mean, you get what you paid for. You get what's on the marquee. It's what am I saying? Jason Statham fighting a giant shark. Like, what else could you expect? And this movie is no exception. Now, they did try to do something different with the plot. I'm not gonna give too much away. The first one, I mean, it was pretty. Like I said, you get what you pay for. You paid to see Jason Statham fighting a giant shark. You watch a movie about Jason Statham fighting a giant shark. That's basically it. This one, though, there's a little something extra in addition to Jason Statham fighting a giant shark, several giant sharks, as a matter of fact, and several other deep trench aquatic creatures. Not giving too much away. And Jason Statham and friends. Let's put it that way. Let's not count anyone out. But they tried to do something extra with this movie. It kind of feels like they're setting up for a third one, or at the very least trying to expand the world a little bit further than what the first one did. I mean, the first one was pretty good for an opening shot movie, but now that they made a second one, it kind of feels like they want to make a third one. But I mean, the extra subplot was interesting. I didn't see it coming, and I did not watch the trailers. Again, this is another one of those movies that the trailers for it just came out during my not doing trailer reactions phase earlier this year. But having not seen any of the trailers, I actually really enjoyed it. So, but the extra plot thing kind of took me by surprise. So I don't even know if it was in the trailers or not. I don't even know if it was marketed, but I appreciate the attempt. A for effort, I would say. But shall we say some of the human villains? Of course, there are human villains and the shark villains, which I believe is a change from the previous one. I haven't seen the first Meg since it came out 5 years ago. I don't remember much from it, but to my knowledge, I don't remember any of the human characters in the movie taking on an antagonistic role. It was really just Jason Statham and friends versus the giant shark. In this episode, there are a couple of human villains, which are about as generic and one-dimensional, one-note, mustache-twirling villains as you can get. One of them even has a mustache. That's not even the joke. There's literally not a mustache twirl, but I mean, you get what you get what I'm saying here. It's generic cookie cutter villains right down to the acting, and like the acting was really bad on some of them. A very underdeveloped script for the villains. One actress in particular tried her damnedest to do what she could with such a horribly written script, but I mean, she couldn't save it. A different actress, not saying who she was, but oh my goodness, was that? And I'm not judging this as an actor or anything. I mean, who the hell am I? But man, that was some bad acting from a couple of people in this movie, but from that one in particular. Not saying who it is again, but let's just say it was so bad. And what also didn't help was the bad writing. That I cannot remember the last time I was so happy to see someone dying in a movie. And that's not really a good thing. I mean, it was. I loved the satisfaction when the death happened. And again, it's a giant shark movie. Okay, you should probably know the premise by now. About half the people you're gonna see at the beginning of the movie are gonna die. I mean, I'm not spoiling anything. Okay, so get off my back. But man, was that a satisfying death. And of course, there's always the cannon fodder people in a movie like this, like people you introduce early at the beginning, give them a name and maybe a few hints at some character to them, but you just know that they're just there to die. And, well, as far as generic cannon fodder people, I'd say they serve their purpose. Like they're there to get you to care about them when they die, and then they die very quickly. So, yeah, as far as that, no fault for the actors. The actors did what they could. The script was, slightly mediocre, but again, I'm not expecting like Stephen Moffat level writing on this movie. Okay. Speaking of which, directed by Ben Wheatley, who directed the first 2 episodes of Peter Capaldi's series as Doctor Who. So, yeah. We got a Doctor Who director doing this, and you know what? As far as direction goes, I think this was great. I mean, Ben Wheatley directed Deep Breath and Into the Dalek, and you can really see that he took some of his experience from doing those episodes. What was it, 9 years ago ish, and applying it to this movie. This movie really, where the movie shines is with the creatures and with the horror elements, and there's some really amazing action in it. Some action, unfortunately, was a little too dark to see. Lack of lighting. I mean, again, it's called The Trench, so you gotta assume they're going somewhere dark, right? But there were some moments where there's action happening on the screen, people getting eaten, and you don't see anything. But there are other moments up on the surface, just like the first movie, where there's some really great action. There's the great underwater action, land action, surface action. I mean, the surface of the water, that is, with jet skis and swimming, and there's some chopper business. There's really great action in this, and really the action is what really saves the movie. The action and some of the comedy, and of course Jason Statham. It was nice seeing the Greek girl from Eurovision, the Eurovision movie. In this, I'm glad that she's getting more work, because she was really good in Eurovision, and she was really good in this one. Again, really generic and one-note script, but she really took that and ran with it. So I can't really fault her for the bad writing. So, but yeah, the other actors in the movie, again, Jason Statham's always as glowing as he usually is, but again, taking the mediocre script and trying to do their best with it. Some work, some don't. But you know what? Like I said, it's not about the script. It's the action. You're not going here for the superb dialogue. You just want to see a giant shark movie, and there's some really fun stuff. This movie is just fun. And you know what? After my recent disappointment with the Haunted Mansion, it really came at the right time. I mean, that's really all I needed after that debacle of a film. So happy to say that this is another win. I'm low-key a fan of the Meg movies, and I definitely would watch another one if another one were to be made in the next few years. Preferably written better, but you know what? Again, as long as they can keep up the action and the ridiculousness, I'm all for it. Like, one final note I want to touch on is about the action. Is that a lot of the times, especially towards the third act, there was just so much action running from one place to another. I'm trying to say that without spoiling, but one scenario to the next, and to the next, and the next, and the next, and the next, that was kind of hard to follow at times. And it sort of meshes together, but it's so fun and so glorious. You don't care who's fighting who at some points. You're just there for the fun and the action-ness of it. And that's it. I think I've talked enough about this movie. It's really fun. You should go see it if you're into dumb, nonsensical action movies. And yeah, just have fun. That's what movies are. They're meant to be fun. They're meant to entertain. Not every movie has to be an Oscar winner. Deal with it. That's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. I know it's the wrong movie, but roll with me. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Hi there. Thank you for watching the video. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends. I'll see you next time.